What's up everybody, Trinity here, and welcome back to the 2nd Street Marvel. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about The Amazing Spider-Man Full Circle. Now before I get into that, please make sure you're subscribed, click the little bell and all of that good stuff. Help us defeat the agents of Hydra as they try to crush us in that YouTube algorithm. Come on, help a brother out, I appreciate it. Now, as I said, today I'm going to be talking about The Amazing Spider-Man Full Circle. This is a one-shot book that was just recently put out at your local comic book shop. You could, if you're into this kind of story, you should go check this out. But this story is, it's a pretty thick book, as you can see there. And I'm not sure how many pages it is. I didn't go and count them or anything or look any of that up. But basically what's going on here is they have decided at Marvel, they took and they had this crazy idea to get a bunch of creators together to write a story about Spider-Man. And pretty much what they did was each writer got to go out and write a different part of the story. Like they started with one writer and said, here, you start the story off and just finish it, do X amount of pages, or I don't know, however they would do it in the story, but write this much, and then they give that script to the next writer who would then build upon that, and then the next writer and so on and so forth, just kind of coming up with this crazy tale and how it's all going to wrap up and finish in the end. And so altogether, so it was a big just kind of project that they did, just like an experiment. And let's see here. The writers here of this book are Jonathan Hickman, Jerry Dugan. Where's that Duggan? Jerry Duggan. Nick Spencer, Kelly Thompson, Al Ewing, Chip Zdarsky, and Jason Aaron. So they've got some pretty big names, pretty big writers on here. The pencilers are Chris Bocciolo, Greg Smallwood, Michael Allred, Valerio Scheite, Chris Sprouse, Rachel Stott, Cameron Stewart, Mark Bagley. The inkers are Tim Townsend, Al Vey, Greg Smallwood, Michael Allred, Valerie Scheite, I know I'm butchering that one. Carl Story, Rachel Stott, Cameron Stewart, John Dell. The color artists are Chris Bocciolo, Greg Smallwood, Laura Allred, Mattia Lacano, Dave McCraig, Triona Farrell, Nathan Fairbarn, and Frank Diarmata. The letterer is VC's Joe Caramagna and Caramagna? Yeah, I don't know. And the cover is done by Rod Reese with Chris Bocciolo, Tim Townsend, just all the other artists that were here. I'm going to go ahead and show you that. So, like I said, as you can see, they put together quite a team of people to put this book together. And, there's a lot of them. And so, when you get something like that, if there's no clearly defined story or plot or anything, you kind of get what you get out of this book. This book was, it was a silly tale, a fun tale, I guess you could say. It was a pretty quick read, especially for as thick as it is. Definitely something, your kid, would probably be a fun read to read with your kid. But basically, Spider-Man wakes up in this, from being broke out of this, cryogenic tube that had him in stasis, and he is being met by Nick Fury, who is there telling him, they're on this mission to stop, this disease is being spread. So they go out there and they end up they end up getting back to Earth because they're out in space. They end up getting back to Earth to stop this thing from happening, and they don't really know who it is. So they end up at Ferret Land or Ferretville. Basically, it's like a Disneyland for ferrets, with the main character being a ferret instead of a mouse. And they're going through trying to figure out what's going on. People have been infected and they're turning into werewolves. And he keeps coming across a whole bunch of different characters who are turning into werewolves. And throughout this whole story, this whole time, there's this man behind a door. There's somebody behind a door. You just always tell him, hey man, let me out. Just let me out of here. Come on, let me out of here because, just help me. I can help you stop this. I can help you do all this stuff. And, just kind of this character there that's, talking to him, and he don't know who it is. And throughout the course of the story, he keeps letting this character out of whatever predicament that he's in. So, and this all kind of plays into each other, because Peter Parker always struggles with, just things in life, I guess you could say, making decisions, or critical decisions, I guess you could say, at the times that he needs to. So you can see this is like a recurring theme that goes on throughout the story as well, as they're trying to stop stop the spread of this disease that is turning everybody into werewolves, and the means in which they are doing it and who's behind it all and everything like that. So it's like I said, it's kind of a silly story. It does we see a bunch of cameos from different Spider-Men out there in the world, I guess you could say. I mean, we get Spider-Pig, Peter Porker comes in. We also see that we get Mary Jane is obviously in here, Aunt May, Dum Dum Dugan makes an appearance in the story. And I would show you some of the art, but that's really like showing you like everything in the book, because like there's like, you know, all those different artists, all those different writers and everything that are in here. So there's like all those people are making appearances in this book, writing it. So I mean, there's a lot of different art and everything to show here. I guess do that. So I'll do my best here. But altogether, I didn't think this book. I mean, for me, it's not anything I would buy. I mean, I wouldn't buy this and, you know, put it on my pull list or anything like that. But again, it's just a one shot. It's just a one shot thing they were doing. If you want to have some fun reading a Spider-Man comic with your kid, you know, definitely. I mean, it was a fun read. It was, you know, entertaining in that sense. I guess you could say. But just for a fun, zany Spider-Man tale. But altogether, I mean, like I said, you can see, you know, all the different things going on here, some of the different artwork. Now, I got to tell you, like, the artwork I like is when we get here to the back of the book, which was Chips. I believe this was Chip Zdarsky and God, who else was it? Mark Bagley. That were doing this one, and you can tell that just by the art, because just from doing the Spider-Man Life Story series that recently happened, you can see that in this art right here. And this is just great art right here, if you ask me. Cool stuff that you got in the Spider-Man Life Story that recently happened. But altogether, like I said, if you want something that's fun and zany, I mean, just go ahead and read this. That's what it is. This book was, I believe, it's $9.99, and you can find that at your local comic book shop. You could also even you can get a downloaded a digital version, you know, through Comixology or Marvel.com. But me, I like supporting my local comic book shop, and you know, you could like my local comic book shop as well. You should go look them up either on Instagram or Facebook at Bases Cards and Comics. They're such an awesome comic book shop. They lent me this book, this copy right here of Spider-Man Full Circle, to bring you guys this review. So if you guys went over there and you know, gave them a like, gave them a follow, I'd greatly appreciate it. You don't have to worry about them selling you anything. They don't do online sales or anything like that. They are a local comic book shop, and they are just here to serve their local customers, and that's one of the things I like about them. Or, you know, and that's just cool that they lent me this book to bring you guys this review. But let me know down in the comments below, did you read The Amazing Spider-Man Full Circle? If so, what did you think about it? And let me know what you think about this review. That's all I have for this video today, folks. Thank you all so much for tuning into the Second Street Marvel. If you haven't already, please make sure you're subscribed and click that little bell so you get notifications anytime I have uploaded new content or anytime I am going live and doing a live video. And while you're at it, make sure you give this video a thumbs up, or feel free to give it a thumbs down if you don't like me or this video or anything like that. Don't worry, I don't take it personal. But most of all, make sure you share it with a friend and invite them to come hang out with us here on the Second Street Marvel. You all have a very good day. Happy reading. Get out and support your local comic book shop, and we'll see you in the next video. Later.